Procrastination can be a serious problem for many, and a lot of thoughtful people nowadays are trying to come up with a solution. For example, Mr. Tim Urban presented his thoughts in his TED Talks recently.
When I heard Tim's talk, I thought, this is exactly in line with what the Gita says about procrastination. Gita says that procrastination is seen when we are influenced by tamoguna. When Gita says that we are influenced by gunas, what it means is the pure qualities of the soul within us is covered over to varying degrees because of the influence of our physical body and our mind.
The self can be compared to the hand, and the gunas can be compared to different layers of covering like the gloves, like a surgeon's glove, and a wicket keeper's glove, and a boxing glove. Now when the hand is in a surgeon's glove, the qualities of the hand are more manifest. The most finer activities can be done. The same hand in a wicket keeper's glove does very gross, relatively gross. You may have seen even a wicket keeper, after catching the ball to throw it, he has to take out, and then he throws the ball and then waves it back. When the same hand is in a boxing glove, the fingers are not visible. It's only used for the grossest activity of punching on a nose.
In Sattva-guna, the covering is thin. In Rajoguna, the covering is thicker. And in Tamoguna, the covering is thickest.
And when the mode of sattva is prominent, at that time a person is more godly because that's the nature of the soul. Rajoguna is more, certain human limitations come out, and Tamoguna basically covers a person with subhuman behavior, and almost like an animal. A person acts like an animal.
Mr. Tim Urban, in his talk, explains what's going inside the brain of a procrastinator. It is as if an animal has hijacked your brain.
So here's the brain of a non-procrastinator. Now, here's my brain. There is a difference. Both brains have a rational decision maker in them, but the procrastinator's brain also has an instant gratification monkey. Now, what does this mean for the procrastinator? Well, it means everything's fine until this happens. So the rational decision maker will make the rational decision to do something productive, but the monkey doesn't like that plan. The instant gratification monkey does not seem like a guy you want behind the wheel. He lives entirely in the present moment. He has no memory of the past, no knowledge of the future, and he only cares about two things: easy and fun. Now, in the animal world, that works fine. If you're a dog and you spend your whole life doing nothing other than easy and fun things, you're a huge success. Which is why we have another guy in our brain, the rational decision maker, who gives us the ability to do things no other animal can do. We can visualize the future. We can see the big picture. We can make long-term plans. And he wants to take all of that into account. And he wants to just have us do whatever makes sense to be doing right now. Now, sometimes it makes sense to be doing things that are easy and fun, like when you're having dinner or going to bed or enjoying well-earned leisure time. That's why there's an overlap. Sometimes they agree. But other times, it makes much more sense to be doing things that are harder and less pleasant for the sake of the big picture, and that's when we have a conflict. And for the procrastinator, that conflict tends to end a certain way every time, leaving him spending a lot of time in this orange zone, an easy and fun place that's entirely out of the make sense circle. I call it the dark playground. Now, the dark playground is a place that all of you procrastinators out there know very well. It's where leisure activities happen at times when leisure activities are not supposed to be happening. The fun you have in the dark playground isn't actually fun because it's completely unearned and the air is filled with guilt, dread, anxiety, self-hatred, all those good procrastinator feelings.
Tamoguna is often translated as the mode of darkness or ignorance. Rajoguna is called the mode of passion because when covered over by Rajoguna, people work passionately. Sattoguna is called the mode of goodness.
All these modes, Sattva, Raja and Tama, they always are competing with each other to take prominence.
Some people are in Tamoguna most of the time, but circumstantially, sometimes Rajoguna takes over. For example, when there is a deadline.
The panic monster is dormant most of the time, but he suddenly wakes up anytime a deadline gets too close or there's danger of public embarrassment, a career disaster, or some other scary consequence. And importantly, he's the only thing that the monkey is terrified of. So the panic monster starts losing his mind, and a few seconds later, the whole system's in mayhem. And the monkey, who, remember, he's terrified of the panic monster, boom, he's up the tree. And finally,
Work does happen when there are deadlines. But you can't call it a solution for procrastination. Because firstly, in many cases, there are no deadlines. And secondly, the work that happens in anxiety under the mode of passion is not the best work.
Regulated work is characteristic of Sattva Guna or the mode of goodness. And that's exactly the solution to procrastination. Also, in Sattva Guna, you are at your best because you are neither delaying things under the influence of Tamoguna nor rushing in under the influence of Rajoguna.
Sattva Guna is when the rational decision maker is on his own and is neither under the influence of the monkey nor the panic monster. And the influence of Sattva Guna is what Adam Grant in his talk on the original thinkers calls the sweet spot.
Now, here are our results. You actually do see that the people who wait till the last minute are so busy goofing off that they don't have any new ideas. And on the flip side, the people who race in are in such a frenzy of anxiety that they don't have original thoughts either. There's a sweet spot where originals seem to live.
Mama Maya Duratyaya, Krishna says, it's extremely difficult to overcome these three modes of nature. However, by some things, few things, you can change. One is the type of food, the kind of environment, also the kind of association. You become what you associate with. Associating with those who have divine qualities or qualities in the mode of goodness brings out that kind of quality. Very passionate people, you also are influenced. Dull and, procrastinating, lazy, you also are inspired to follow suit. However, there is one process that is like the most potent of all this, and that is devotion.
Mamchayo vyabhichareena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samathityaitam brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Just like for millions of years a room can be dark, but you light a match, instantly millions of years of darkness goes away. So devotional service, which is non-different from the Lord's mercy, you light up and instantly millions of years of darkness can go away. So the choice is ours.
Most people in this world are under the influence of at least some amount of tamoguna. So procrastination in that sense is universal. But if we act diligently, making the right choices, it is surely possible to gradually increase the influence of satoguna, by which procrastination diminishes proportionately.
We are not created ill. The Atma, the living force within us, is perfect. It is a part of God. But we have free will within this world. And according to the choices we make, it not only creates a reaction, but it also creates an internal inclination toward doing the same thing again. So we become habituated by the choices we make. These inclinations we have are very much due to how we have programmed ourselves, by how we have chosen to act in the past. And the present moment is how we're programming the way we experience the world for the future. What is going to be our inclinations? You see, you can't change what we've done in the past. But whatever comes as a reaction, we have the free will how we're going to respond.